What if three Mosasaurus hoffmanni suddenly appeared in modern-day Monterey Bay? Could they dominate these waters again? In a submarine canyon beneath the bay, a rupture in space-time hurls three Mosasaurus hoffmanni, extinct 66 million years, into the modern ocean. But what arrives isn't fully grown leviathans. It's three newborn hatchlings, each less than 3 meters long, and their first challenge is simply taking a breath in this unfamiliar sea. As marine reptiles that breathe with lungs, instinct drives them to swim frantically upward, minutes before their lungs fail from oxygen deprivation. They burst through the surface, gasping in air that feels wrong, far less oxygen than the world encoded in their Cretaceous memory. Icy water draining their body heat, every scent mismatched with a 60-million-year-old blueprint. There's no time to process it. Only one thought remains. Without high-energy flesh immediately, these tiny prehistoric engines will be drained to death. The kelp forest teems with fish they've never encountered. Their hunts fail repeatedly, underestimating their prey's agility, while stomach acid burns their own organs. 6 hours in, they sink to the muddy floor, using sediment as ambush cover. The eldest launches with everything he has, clamping onto a 15-kilogram catfish. As that first mouthful of warm blood slides down, they learn the first law of this ocean. To survive, they must kill. But the scent of blood attracts the true rulers of these waters. 5 killer whales, 7 to 9 meters long, led by a scarred female, legendary throughout the bay. To the orcas, these hatchlings are just moving calories. On her signal, 2 males slam into one hatchling's flank, while a third bolts its tail, crippling its propulsion. The brothers twist desperately, dragging blood into a crack in the canyon wall, wedging between the rocks, and slowing their hearts to near death. Even as their lungs scream and vision darkens from blood loss, they refuse to move. Only once the orcas' calls fade do they dare surface. This defeat teaches the most brutal law of all. There are forces here that can effortlessly crush them. For 6 miserable months, they survive buried in the mud, feeding on blind fish and bottom crabs. Every healed wound forms dark, resilient armor across their bodies, while the eldest always guards the crevice entrance, shielding his brothers from every threat. 0243. Once all three reach 3.5 meters, they venture into the kelp forest and meet a Pacific porbeagle shark over 2 meters long. It charges with jaws wide open. Rather than retreat, the brothers charge back, the eldest drawing its attention head-on, while the 2 younger strike from both flanks, clamping onto its pectoral fins, tearing through cartilage before ripping the fins clean off. The shark flees in panic. For the first time, the brothers realize their bloodline makes them nearly unbeatable against anything their own size. 0321. But at 4 meters, that confidence costs them. They attack a pod of 5 dolphins, and when the ambush fails, 3 counterattack together, exploiting their speed to slam into the smallest brother's blind spot, cracking his ribs. The others can't even touch the agile dolphins, and barely flee with their injured sibling. A second iron rule: never attack prey that moves in groups. But they also learn coordinated teamwork, the eldest driving and pinning prey, while the younger 2 deliver the killing blows. 0357. Descending into the 1,000-meter depths of Monterey Canyon, they lock onto a giant squid. The eldest bites onto a tentacle, and it wraps around his head, suckers tearing his skin, ink blinding him. But the younger 2 rip its tentacles apart until it goes limp. The kill triggers an explosive growth spurt. By 7 meters, the trio hunts a humpback whale calf. 2 brothers lure the mother away, leaving a 20-second window, and the third clamps onto the calf's throat, tearing through its carotid artery instantly. 0433. 10 seconds later, the mother's tail sends him flying, pain shooting through his ribs, but she mourns beside her dead calf before leaving, and the brothers feast, securing their place as apex predators. By 10 meters, they've become the great white's nightmare, hugging the canyon walls in an approach that nullifies a shark's senses entirely. By the time a shark detects them, 3 jaws have sealed every escape route, tearing a full-grown great white apart instantly. No rival remains now, not even killer whales. In their 10th year, the 3 brothers complete their ultimate transformation, each exceeding 15 meters and 20 tons. Scarred bodies armored in nearly indestructible hide, the only 3 fully grown Hoffmann's mosasaurs on Earth. Then one morning, familiar low-frequency whistles cut through the water. The same pod of killer whales, led by the same scarred female. 10 years, and old enemies meet again. The brothers shoot upward from the abyss, like 3 black torpedoes. As the lead orca gives a warning call, the pod disperses, avoiding the charge. But this time is different. The brothers no longer fight separately. The eldest attacks head-on, drawing attention, while the younger 2 seal off the pod's retreat from below. The canyon becomes a living hell. The eldest turns violently, jaws clamping onto the flank of the last whale, teeth piercing muscle and spine, a death roll shredding the 6-ton orca's chest before it can even scream. At the same instant, the younger brothers attack from behind, one driving through a tailstock and dragging its victim into the deep, the other biting through a chest cavity. In seconds, 3 of the 5 orcas are dead. Watching their pod die drives the last 2 into madness. The lead female and the survivor launch one final counterattack, tearing into the eldest's flank. But this time he doesn't evade. He becomes an immovable fortress, holding both whales in place while their focus stays locked on him. That's when the younger brothers strike simultaneously, jaws locking onto the lead female's skull and spine at once. With a 12-ton bite, in a tenth of a second, her skull is crushed. Witnessing her death, the last whale's resolve collapses, and it flees toward open ocean. Silence returns. Only clouds of blood and drifting flesh testify to what happened. The 3 brothers hover in the bloody water, covered in bite marks and lacerations. But this time, they are the ones left standing. 0726. From that moment on, throughout Monterey Bay and the Eastern Pacific, they have no natural enemies left. They've exterminated what was once the ocean's smartest, fiercest family of hunters, washing away a 10-year-old humiliation in blood. As night falls, the 3 Cretaceous tyrants surface side by side beneath a cold moon, raising their armored heads and releasing 3 ancient roars into the sky, calls powerful enough to echo across tens of millions of years. At least for this night, they've reclaimed the throne they lost 66 million years ago, and this cold modern age will remember the terror of the Cretaceous.